Where'd they get these strawberries? They're mutant. Marley rolled her eyes and popped a cube of cheddar in her mouth. Who knows where Austin gets anything? But seriously, you couldn't come out and socialize before stuffing your gullet? He surveyed the strawberries for another massive one and spotted his prize. He grabbed it before his sister could steal it. I'm a growing boy who has to leave for work in a couple of hours. Let me fill my poor starving belly and I'll be out in a little bit. Marley snatched the strawberry out of his hand. Speaking of finally having a job, you can afford your own food. Hey! He protested. The finally dig bothered him. But as always, he didn't let it show. It was his own fault, in a way. He'd always played into the part of the job-hopping, fun-loving guy. He couldn't expect to be treated differently than how he treated himself. Marley took a dainty bite off the tip. How is the job, by the way? He shrugged. He'd been to Blue Moon Bar enough that it made sense he should get paid to be there. Plus, he made a mean, screaming orgasm. Sure, the work uniform was a little weird. Tuxedo pants, a bow tie, and a pair of white cuffs, no shirt. But his nipple rings were tit magnets, so whatever. It's fun. How about this one lasts, yeah? Her voice was softer now, kinder. Chad resisted the urge to bristle. He knew his sister was just trying to be nice and watch out for him. It wasn't like he didn't know that hopping from job to job was ridiculous. He'd been doing it for so many years at this point, it was almost second nature. He hated being tied down, doing the same thing, talking to the same people. Hell, he hated wearing the same clothes. So what if he had a new job every couple of months? He paid his bills. He ignored the voice in his head telling him that wasn't quite enough for him anymore, and said, Sure, Mars. She smiled at him, and he felt a swell of warmth and love and mushy feelings. Marley was his best friend, and the only one who seemed to see him as anything other than a throwaway. He thought so many times of talking to her about his recent discontent, of his desire for more, a challenge, something to be proud of, just more. But it was never the right time, like now. Or he chickened out, like now. He leaned in and kissed her forehead. Go make out with your boyfriend. I'm going to grab a beer, and I'll be outside. She gave him a quick hug and walked out the back door with a, You better not eat and leave. He'd been contemplating it, so maybe it was a good thing she'd given that order. There was really no reason for him to be here other than his sister had invited him, and, well, food. So he popped some sort of pecan tart in his mouth, grabbed a beer out of the fridge, and followed Marley out back. The backyard was full of people. Other than Marley and Austin, he knew two of them. Grant Osprey, the owner of Gamers, and Grant's girlfriend, Chloe. He tilted his head with a bottle of beer up to his lips. The familiar tang of liquid hit his tongue, and the comforting glug sounded in his ears. Ah, yes, beer. Nectar of the gods, really. No fancy wine or scotch in a highball glass for him. A fidgeting man standing on the outer fringes of the crowd drew Chad's attention. Then the man turned, and big, round blue eyes behind horn-rimmed glasses met his. He tipped his bottle toward the guy in a cheers gesture. He meant to look away. He really did. Except those blue eyes blinked at him, and Chad couldn't tear his gaze away. Everything about the guy screamed geek, from his perfectly parted and slicked-back blonde hair to his button-down shirt and pressed slacks. He even wore a bow tie, for God's sake, and not in the tacky Chippendales homage way like Chad sported at Blue Moon Bar. But there was something about his eyes, those perfectly pouted lips, that had Chad wondering what the guy would look like on his knees at Chad's feet. Oh, shit. His sister would laugh her ass off if she found out he was perving on Bowtie. Chad watched as the guy's eyes did the exact same thing to him. He braced his feet apart, let his arms fall loosely to the side, and cocked his head, like, yeah, you know you want this Bowtie. Except when Bowtie's gaze returned to Chad's face, there was